Before there was a United States, there were nations, sovereign, structured, respected. Many of them were composed of dark-skinned people with deep roots in the soil of this land, the Black Indians. These nations negotiated treaties, held territory, and waged war to defend their rights. But after the U.S. was founded in the late 1700s, a new agenda emerged. Erase them from memory, remove them from the rolls, and steal their land. The truth? It's in the diaries, the treaties, and the government records. And today, we're opening the vault. Kapler's Indian Affairs volumes, 1778-1883, show treaties with tribal nations like the Cherokee, Creek, Seminole, and Choctaw, all of which had substantial Black membership. The Treaty of 1866 with the Cherokee Nation, for example, explicitly states that freedmen and their descendants shall have all rights of native Cherokees. Eyewitness testimony Benjamin Hawkins, a U.S. Indian agent in the 1790s, described large numbers of Negroes and Indians living as one people. Conclusion: these treaties weren't just with native tribes, they were with Black sovereigns. In the 1800s, darker-skinned tribal members were removed from tribal roles and recategorized as freedmen, colored, or Negro. Dawes Rolls, 1898-1914. The U.S. government split tribal members into by-blood and freedmen categories, even when they were part of the same tribe. Diary evidence. Chitto Harjo, a Muskogee Creek leader, wrote and spoke against forced classification. They want to take my land by saying I am not Creek enough to keep it. Conclusion: this was a bureaucratic weapon designed to erase Black tribal citizens and their rights. Prior to 1776, European powers, Spain, France, Britain, made treaty after treaty with indigenous nations, who were often armed, organized, and darker than the history books say. The Treaty of Albany, 1722, and Treaty of Augusta, 1763, involved tribes that included heavily mixed or Black Indian populations. Source: University of Oklahoma's Western History Collections and Library of Congress. Conclusion: Black indigenous nations ran much of America's interior and resisted colonial control for centuries. From the 1500s to the 1800s, Aboriginal Americans fought off European invaders in a series of regional wars. Tidewater Wars, Virginia, 1600s. Yamasee War, South Carolina, 1715-1717. Seminole Wars, 1816-1858, where Black Seminoles were among the fiercest fighters. Military reports: U.S. General Thomas Jessup called Black Seminoles the most formidable enemy we faced. British letters, 1750s-60s, described dark Indian confederacies that disrupted trade, captured forts, and resisted treaty terms. Conclusion: these weren't isolated skirmishes, they were organized resistance by Black-led nations. Kapler's Treaty Collection, treaties with signatures of Black tribal chiefs. Freedmen Rolls, 1866-1902, list Black Indians promised full tribal citizenship. Court rulings, 2017, Cherokee Nation versus Nash, federal court upholds rights of Cherokee freedmen descendants. Testimony of John Horse, Black Seminole leader. We are not refugees, we are warriors. Conclusion: the documents are real. The rights were legal and the erasure was intentional. Your ancestors didn't wait for freedom. They wrote the treaties that defined it. They didn't run from the U.S. government. They fought it to a standstill for 300 years. And when the documents were finally written, their names were on them. But the ink wasn't enough to protect them. It takes memory, it takes power, and it takes us, because history didn't forget, it was buried, and we just dug it up.